So we've got Ash here this morning, and
Yes.
what's been going on with him?
So Ash, I was away, so he was off for a week.
Yep.
And before I left, we were long reining very nicely, just trying to get some consistency.
Yep.
And we are consistently forward.
That's good. Big improvement.
Not offering to change directions
Yep.
on his own or outside turns and such. So that was all good. He had a week off. I've been back for 2 days. So for 2 days, I've just did remedial back in the round pen, circling around me, inside turns, just getting comfortable getting back into a school frame of mind.
And how have you found his mindset after a bit of a break?
Fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think he's a curious horse. He likes to be engaged and do things, so I think he's happy to be back to work.
Yep.
But he didn't lose anything. I think we're just starting right back where we were. As opposed to like Toast was on vacation and he was like, yeehaw, woo, what's going on? So we have to get his mind back. But yesterday, just to do something a little bit different before we get back into the round pen and kind of progress on our long reining and getting him under saddle and stuff, I just took him around the property to do something we already knew, which is what we were doing in the round pen.
Yep.
Walking around me, circling inside turns, doing it in a little more challenging area. So up a hill, across a puddle. We had a lot of puddles yesterday. So
Oh, good. Okay.
So him doing something he knows, but in a new place.
Oh, good. Yeah, yeah. So we'll do that again today and see how he goes with that?
Yeah, I thought it was good because he had to work through some things. You know, right now what we've been doing in our program is we come in and we eat, we get groomed, and we go to the round pen and work.
Yeah.
Get rinsed off and go back. So we work in this little square here.
Yep, okay.
So getting him out where he's looking at new distractions, I thought was good.
Yeah, terrific. All right, let's see how he goes.
Come on, bud. Let's go. Yep. We're gonna go this way. Not quite as much water as we had yesterday.
All his friends wondering where he's going.
Oh, Goose is gonna.
The dog's there?
Yeah. But it's funny enough, Ash doesn't, he responds quite normally, but he doesn't upset him too much.
Right.
Which is good.
And the dog sort of pretty much responds to which horse it is, doesn't he?
He doesn't do this to anyone else, it's just Ash.
Oh, it's just Ash?
It's, yeah. Goosey, be quiet. No.
It's unhelpful, Goose.
We're gonna stand here just for a second, because of course Ash doesn't want to cross the water towards Goose. Goosey. Not helpful. Anyway, I like to see, let's just talk about what we just saw.
Yeah.
It was a very normal response.
Yeah.
He shied because a dog jumped out at him.
Yes.
It didn't ruin his day.
Yeah.
His mindset's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
It didn't change anything. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that too. Yeah.
So it wouldn't be fair to ask him to go towards Goose right now, so maybe we'll just head towards the
we've got
grass.
another puddle up there.
Yeah. And Goose is probably going to bark at him again.
Probably.
As we go.
See you, Goose.
Okay. Oh, okay, let's go this way. Good boy. Good boy, Ash. Good boy. Good boy.
Great, so you're basically taking the same exercise, the advanced inside turns exercise, out of the round pen, out to here and through the puddle, which is terrific, isn't it? And I think what that shows us is that what you've done is you've built that bubble of communication with Ash. So it's taking what he knows
Move your butt away from
and
me.
just taking that safe, sort of confident thing. He knows the right answer to this question. and you're changing the environment, so it makes it more challenging for him.
Bud.
And we're adding goose, which is unhelpful, really, goose, but more challenging for him again.
Good boy.
And I think it's a really nice example, T, of why it's so important to have that bubble. And we build it in a safe, easy place for the horse where there aren't a lot of distractions. In this environment, there are a lot of distractions, so it's more difficult. But you don't want to start here, you want to finish here. So when he's confident with you doing that in a safe environment, which for us is the round pen, which is in the covered arena, there's not much going on. We don't have the dog there, and his friends aren't calling to him and things. So we take that knowledge and him understanding what the answer is to the questions you're asking into a more challenging environment. So you can say it's exactly the same thing as we do really with the give to the bit exercise when we start riding. So we get the horse responding to give to the bit and shoulder control in the safety of the arena, for example, and then we take that same set of responses out into the real world. So whether it be to the show or whether it be to the trail ride, wherever it is, we take that, what we have, that bubble of communication where the horse can relax and engage with us into the more challenging environment. So it's a lovely example of that.
Good boy. Another thing is, if I was just walking around here with him, he's looking at everything. His mind's focused on what should I be scared of.
Yeah.
Here, all those things are still here, but he's focused on what we're doing instead.
So that's another really interesting point, I think, because what you're doing is you're saying to him, you're opening that communication. You know, you're picking up the phone and you're saying something to him. Whereas, so he doesn't have to be afraid of everything because you're asking him simple questions that he knows the answers to. So that really helps you engage and build that bubble where he feels safe. And it's interesting that you said that because you quite often see people bring their horse to a new environment, let's say the show or something, and they get them off the truck with this head collar and they say, oh, you know, the horse is like a kite, so we better have a look around. And then of course it goes from bad to worse because they don't have a conversation with the horse. They're just trying to get the horse used to everything. But the horses, I think, often feel very alone in that situation. Whereas if you can just maybe put their bridle on and say, okay, well, let's do a little bit of give to the bit around here and, you know, we'll engage you in a conversation, then I think, you know, that makes all the difference to the horse because, you know, can you move left? Can you move right? Can you stop? And all of these questions, the horse could go, yes, I can. And then they get released and rewarded for doing that. And suddenly, you know, they feel much more confident again. Yeah. Really, it's a lovely example of why we want that bubble.
Yeah, because if you followed me around here and me just leading him, he'd just be snorting at everything as we go. Yeah. So we're just going to try to do some.
And he's a young horse and he might get scared of the dog or something and jump right on you.
Yeah. Yes. He might. Okay, I thought we'll head over and use a little hillside here.
Yeah.
Add something to that. Come on. Hey, buddy. Oh, boy. So I'm gonna let him kind of lollygag around and check things out for a minute, and then I'll ask him to be a little bit more present.
Yep.
And
there's another sort of great example of making things a bit more challenging for him, you know.
A little bit.
We had the dog, we had new environment, then we added the dog, then you added the water, now we're adding the bank. So yeah, it's a great way without actually having to make the horse go faster or work harder. He's got to think a bit more.
I'm adding my flag because if you noticed at the last two spots, he comes in real close to me.
Yep.
And I just want him to, he knows the flag, so this is something he knows, a little something on the ground. Good boy. So I need my space.
Yes.
So a buggy just pulled up over there, so he's looking at that. But see, he's doing something he knows, which is go in the direction I've asked.
Yep.
In the scary new place. Good boy. And he's engaged now. Now
Yes.
he's really listening to me. Now he really is like, okay, this is kind of like work. Good boy.
And this is great. You've added the bank. I often say trailer loadings like this, you know, walk forward, walk backwards, and you just add the trailer to that. And here you've done, you know, he's doing the same exercise. He knows this pattern. You've just added a bank.
No. Same way, same way, same way. There you go. Good boy.
It's really interesting, isn't it? He just sort of, he lost concentration for a minute. Something happened over there at the buggy, maybe. So he asked that question.
Good. Yeah.
And you just know, you're just going forward.
Now I want to make a change of direction, but not in the place that he kept balking there for a second, or where he had his question. No. And because Ash has sort of his two levels of very relaxed, and then he can escalate to being fearful real quick.
Yeah, so we were talking about this yesterday. You know, one of the things that really helps with training is being able to control their emotional level incrementally. And Ash does have a tendency to go from, pretty very relaxed to really quite emotional, and might be a result of something that happened to him when he was young. But what we're trying to do is just really work on that so that we can lift his emotional level just a little bit. You know, you really want to think, if you think about emotional level as out of 100, 50's just relaxed, standing around, not thinking about much at all, and 100 is jumping out of their skin, then we want him at a sort of 60, 65 to be engaged. He has a bit of a tendency to go from 60 to 80 quite quickly. So we want to build up that, 60, 65, 63, that sort of thing, just to be able to really regulate his emotional level more easily. And this is a good way of doing that, is to make the questions you're asking more challenging for him mentally. So it's mentally more challenging for him to do this on a hill. He doesn't need to go faster. He needs to think about it a bit more. It's mentally more challenging for him to, have to contend with the dog.
And now there's a little bit of mud in front of us here, so I just changed that. Good. Come on. Good, good. I did that on purpose, just moved down to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Has to jump that.
Good boy. Good boy.
No, that was a nice turn.
It was.
No, coming at it from the other
Looks
direction.
different
is
the
more
other way.
difficult, Yeah.
Come on. Good boy.
And so right there you saw him just before he did that jump across. He made that decision, what do I focus on? Do I focus on what's happening over there on my left, or shall I be looking at this ditch? And it was a good choice he made.
Good boy. Ooh. Ooh. Good boy. Like for him, that was a lot.
Yeah.
We don't ever get that kind of a increase in his emotional level in the round pen.
Yeah.
Unless in the beginning when we were having some challenges, but it's really hard to get him to go from him just here at school and working
Yes.
to a little bit engaged like that, but not fearful.
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah,
I think that was great.
a really good lesson for him.
Good boy.
And fantastic. You know, it's a great example too. You know, I've got a young horse. We're starting him under saddle. He's not done much work, and that's a good ending for his day. Like he's been really successful. That was great. You don't have to exhaust him. You know,
Yeah.
we don't have to be thinking like that. What we want to do is train that bit between the ears, and he certainly has been thinking a lot this morning.
Yeah.
Great.
Good.